All right, so just looking at problems 5 through 13 here, just want to take a moment to check in that we understand what they all mean. So associative problem, I kind of remember has the word socia in it, which is like social, and social means groups of people. So it's about groupings, which is parentheses. So I don't know if that helps, but there's two properties for associative property. One with addition, saying if I have three things added, A, B, and C, I could group it, add these first, or I could group it, add these first. A plus B, then C. Multiplication is the same thing, just you have A times B times C, and then again we can group it in either way, right? So it's just saying that's equivalent, those are the same. Commutative property says for addition and multiplication, I can either add two things, and then if I switch the order, it's still the same amount. It's the same equivalent quantity. Same thing for multiplication. I can flip A and B from like 5 times 3 is equal to 3 times 5, right? So it doesn't matter. X times Y equals Y times X, whatever you want. You can move things around because commuting means to move. Identity is like the word identical twins. It means the same. So identity property of addition is A plus 0 equals A. So anytime you add 0 to something, in a sense, you get the same amount. Same thing with multiplying by 1. And distributive property, of course, is you have a number multiplying a group. So in this case, A times B plus C is A times B is A times B, AB, plus, you still need that separator of two terms, times this guy right here, AC. And the last guy is false, not a property. So as we look at these, you're trying to look at sort of what's the key piece going on here. And this one's a little confusing. But this 5 over 5 is essentially the number 1. So if I write this as the number 1 here, I'll make that 1. That's kind of hard to see, but that's the number 1. Something times 1. Now you say, well, it didn't give me 2/3 back. It gave me 10/15 back. But this is equivalent to 2/3, right? So multiplying by 1 essentially changed how the problem looked, but it didn't actually change this. So this one is going to connect to over here. Let's see, identity property of multiplication. So this is going to be F right here. 2x plus 3y. Does that equal 5? Well, these are not like terms. So you can't just combine them this way. That's not going to work. This one is false. 6a times equals a times 6. You notice that this flipped around. Things moved. Pieces moved. The factors moved, in fact. That's silly. Okay, so that's commutative property of multiplication. X times 9 times 12, X times 9 times 12. So here the pieces did not move, but the grouping changed. That's associative property of multiplication. Here we have 6 times the group, 2x plus 3. Wait a second, they multiplied the 6 in. We know that one, distributive property. This one's a little tricky. 3 times the group 5 plus 1 equals 3 times 5 plus 1. If you actually do the math, you'll see this is false. 3 times 6 is 18 equals 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1, 16. This creates a problem. 18 does not equal 16. This is not true. This is another false. We have two false guys here. Here we go again. A plus negative B plus C equals A plus negative B plus C. What changed was the grouping. That's associative property. Here we have 2.23x equals 2.23x plus 0. These look identical. That's a hint. Plus 1. Here we go. Final guy here is negative 5 plus 2x squared equals 2x squared plus negative 5. Oh, it's the same terms, except they got moved around. That'll be commutative property of addition. There you go. Hope that helps.